Now we're going to talk about yung mga stocks na hawak ng COL premium customers. Okay? So we will be discussing the stocks in order of the number of customers that are holding these companies. So first, let's start off with Jollibee.
Jollibee. Okay. Jollibee, I have a hold rating and I have a fair value of 268.
Okay.
The thing with Jollibee again is it is always expensive. Pero we like cheaper stocks. May sure ball na na gains so and a discount to our valuation. But for Jollibee, it's really hard to have a buy rating on that. So if ako personally, I really love Jollibee. If compare mo sa akin yung Jollibee, Maxis, or Shakey's, yung mga listed companies na sa favorite ko si Jollibee. Okay. But yun lang, expensive. But then again, if you really want to buy it, if you guys really want to buy it and you want to hold on to it, I don't think there's any problem. If you kahit tingnan mo yung chart niya, tuloy-tuloy na yung akyat. If they have a problem, maybe that's the time to invest because you know it's only a temporary problem. Jollibee yan. So,
alright, next, talking about URC.
Hey, URC, still mine. Okay. So URC, maybe a big controversy, but I have a sell rating on URC with a fair value of 111. I think kanina, as of this afternoon, it closed at 150. So that's a big downside. I recognize URC naman how we are forecasting a double-digit growth this year. Okay. A recovery from last year and 2017. But they really had a bad year kasi their coffee business is doing bad. They're losing market share to Copico and even to Nescafe. So that's a big hit for them. And there's this their operations internationally, their New Zealand operations is also doing poorly. Sales is going down and I think margin is going down.
Saka parang wala na rin masyadong nagsisito ngayon, di ba?
Sito ngayon, well, it's still growing. Still growing. Kaso natamaan din yan ng sugar tax last year.
Right.
So isa yan. So this year, I'm expecting that they can recover, but not yet back to their high, which is 2015. So hindi pa.
Okay. Let's talk about SSI.
SSI. SSI, so I have a buy rating, 3.2 in target. And we really like SSI. I like SSI because of its ongoing turnaround. I see an opportunity there. Kasi sobrang binentahan na yung stock, marami na ipit, whatever. But it's really doing a lot right now to make its business better. Kasi yung key problem niya before was, ang dami niya binuksang stores. And yung iba kasi mas on the provincial areas, and yung mga brands niya kasi mas mid to high-end. So hindi naging successful yung ibang stores, but they've already closed down the unprofitable stores, so mas efficient siya ngayon. Ang challenge ng last year was yung margins niya dahil ang hina ng peso natin, medyo tinamaan, so hindi niya na-pass on masyado yung cost. But given the strong demand right now, kasi they've already increased prices, and that should allow yung profits niya kasi to improve. Kaya I think there's an opportunity in SSI.
Ano bang sample ng mga brands ni SSI?
Well, sa mga premium, may Zara ka.
Zara.
Yeah, and yung mga, lately, yung mga mas booming na brands would be yung Bershka, Stradivarius, Pull&Bear, things like that. May food din siya, like, well, di ba, I think Shake Shack. Everyone's looking at that na. So, they're gonna open maybe their first store, if I would guess, March, April, ganun.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Alright. Thank you. Next is Pure Gold.
Pure Gold. So, I have a hold rating. It's a target price of 47. What I can say is, I still like Pure Gold, but medyo wala na kasing upside eh. Store expansion is still, the story is still the same eh. You're growing, you're adding more stores also outside Metro Manila, provincial areas, both for Pure Gold and yung SNR nila.
Okay.
And I think what you can do with Pure Gold is just maybe also take a look at the PE niya. I think it's around 19 times ngayon. If it falls maybe around 17 times, that's also a good opportunity na to buy the stock.
And that PE is also available in the investment
side.
You can go to that. Okay. Next, we have Maxis.
Maxis.
So, okay ba yan?
Actually, if you ask Justin, his top pick this year is SSI. And then my top pick this year is Maxis. Kanina sabi ko, if I were to compare the three companies, I would favorite ko si Jollibee. Right now, my second is Maxis.
Maxis.
But as a stock, as for an investment, mas gusto ko si Maxis right now.
Okay. Okay.
Kasi,
Bakit?
first of all, it's really cheap. It's trading at 12, 13 times PE. Compare mo kay Jollibee, 40. Or sa consumer industry na average na 20 to 22. It's still a big discount.
Okay.
And then my fair value for Maxis, I have a buy rating by the way, 1919.
Okay.
From, ano ngayon, 12?
12.
More than 50% upside.
Pwede.
The thing is, binentahan yan in 2017 because they had really a bad year. They shifted from contractualization of employees to regular employees. So, tinamaan yung operating expenses nila.
Okay.
So, yun. Eh, ngayon, nakabawi na sila.
Oo. Kasi yung contractualizations or
Isang
only one-off.
Yes,
Isang
one-off. Tapos babawi na sila next year.
Okay. Alright. So, Maxis. Okay. WLCON.
WLCON. I don't cover it personally, but I'm still aware of what's happening naman sa company. Growth is actually pretty strong, kaya it's also being valued by the market at a premium.
Okay.
Mga 31 times na siya ngayon, and we have a hold rating of fair value of I think 12.10.
Okay.
Yeah, 12.10.
Pero kasi yan, yung hindi yan bumagsak last year. Kaya
Oo nga.
binibentahan yung buong industriya. Sila hindi.
I think mga foreign funds also like the company nga din. And the reason being, well, from what I know, diba, the store expansion is there. They have a rapid store expansion, opening like 8 stores and then 5 more consecutive. Mga provincial areas din. And the key is, meron siyang in-house brands kasi niya.
Okay.
And it's able to grow its sales there because parang with their training din sa staff, yun yung mas mina-market nila ng mga brands. And it's pretty strong if I'm not mistaken sa provincial area. So the margins there are also higher since it's in-house brands. And then given the higher contribution, it's benefiting WLCON.
Okay. So just like kay Jollibee, tsaka dun sa ibang medyo mahal na stock, antayin medyo magkaroon ng discount versus historical
Yes.
PE terms.
Although mas wala kang gauge ng historical since medyo ilang years pa lang naman si WLCON. Diba?
CNPF.
Natingin mo dyan, pare?
Actually, I have a buy rating on CNPF.
Talaga?
With a fair value of 1780.
Okay.
It's one of the cheaper companies also in the consumer sector. It's trading, I think right now, 18 times, 17 times PE. The only problem with that, last year, is the high tuna cost. So parang nagmahal sobra yung mga tuna kasi parang nag-shortage ata ng supply. Pero right now, it's back to normal. And they should perform well with this 2019. And last second half naman ng 2018, napuprove na nila na it's better.
Tsaka I believe hindi lang yata yung tuna. Meron pa silang meat.
Yes, they also have, there are actually three major categories. Actually four.
Okay.
Three. It's tuna, and then meat, and then they also have coconut.
Yes.
So yung coconut water. Sila yung nagsusupply ng water kay Vita Coco. So it's actually a big fad in the United States.
Yeah.
And that's growing very fast. Also their milk, pero maliit pa lang siya, pero growing north of 20%. And then their canned tuna, canned fish, canned meat, growing north, high single digit, higher than GDP. So they're doing something well, something good. So, no problema.
Alright. Okay, thank you. I think we have 4 stocks left. Let's talk about RRHI.
Robinson's rated. So I have a hold rating also with a fair value of 92. Well, I like RRHI because of its existing business. Yung may steady siya na growth from yung supermarket niya, but yung discretionary segments niya like yung DIY and yung specialty stores niya, they're also growing much faster. But I recently, a few months na, nag-downgrade ako to hold kasi umakyat na rin yung share price and I factored in the impact of the Rustans acquisition.
Okay.
Which was approved. So yung Rustans kasi, it's still operating at a loss, but they believe they can, and I also have confidence that they can turn it around.
Okay.
Kasi the thing is, you have shared assets, shared resources that you can use, like yung mga back-end, and distribution centers eventually. And after you merge that, you have, since RRHI is much bigger, diba? It really has the potential to turn Rustans from something that unprofitable to one of the, maybe in the future, one of the big supporters of its long-term growth.
Right. Kasi may pangalan na rin sa Lustanza.
Yeah.
So essentially, you think it's a risk that they acquired Lustanza?
I think
Or
it's...
for risk and benefit?
No, I think it's more of a benefit actually.
Okay.
But it's just that I had to factor in some short-term dilution. Like may dilution ka kasi with Rustans coming in, I think my outstanding shares is also affected. But long-term wise, I like the company. I think they can make Rustans into one of the drivers of growth.
Okay. Alright. Sige. Next, Emperador.
Okay,
Pare.
so this is one of the few only liquor company I think that we cover.
Okay.
So Emperador, brandy, whiskey, we have a buy rating.
MP Light.
Mura yan. And I think they're tackling dun sa mga ganyan, yung price per alcohol level para ano yung pinaka-mura na may tama ka.
Pinaka-lakas ang tama.
Okay.
Anyway, I recently upgraded Emperador to a buy rating,
Okay.
8.19 fair value. The problem with this is, a couple of years ago, I mean starting 2017 or 2016, their Emperador domestic brandy is doing bad.
Okay.
Not doing well talaga. Right? Kasi parang saturated na eh. Right? And then growing flat or down 5% yung revenues nila for that. But then, they started their focus on, bringing in international brands of brandy and whiskey.
Okay.
So yun, nababawi. High 30% yung growth. And na-offset niya yung down ni
Ng local brands.
local brands niya.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think going forward, this is the focus for Imperator.
Pag-uusapan natin ngayon yung DNL.
DNL. Okay.
Oh.
So DNL, I have a hold rating with a fair value of 10.
Hold rating, yes.
90. Although the only reason na hold siya is because of valuation. So wala na kami upside.
Okay.
Pero as a company, sobrang okay ni DNL. One of the more stable ones as a consumer company. They're consistently growing at least 10% over the past few years.
Pare, ano bang negosyo niya?
Okay. DNL, actually they have 4. So, tataka ka bakit siya consumer, di ba?
Yeah.
Parang hindi mo naman alam yung nila, products nila. They're actually the ones selling, for example, food ingredients. They sell, for example, oil.
Okay.
And powders.
Cooking oil.
Powders for French fries or whatever. Ingredients for the sauces.
Okay.
So, big clients nila. So, we have Jollibee, Max's, McDonald's. Lahat yung clients nila. Okay, so 7-Eleven. I'm not sure, pero maybe one of the convenience stores, yung mga ice cream.
Yes.
They also sell that.
Okay.
So, a lot of.
So hindi mo nakikita, but DNL is a huge business in the Philippines.
They're a business-to-business, B2B company. And then marami pa, they have plastics.
Okay.
So they supply car plastics, mga ganyan. Chemicals,
Yes.
aerosols.
Oh.
So yun yung 4 nila.
Okay. So hold dahil it's a bit expensive.
Yeah, ganun lang. And wala lang upside sa fair value natin.
Okay.
Although, it's a good company and I don't think it's less risky than others.
Okay. Yes. Alright. So now let's talk about pizza.
Pizza.
Marami pang may hawak yun eh.
Yeah. Okay, for pizza, I have a hold rating din, 1160.
Okay.
Okay, actually before I think I had a buy rating for pizza, kaso parang last year, parang pumangit yung bent nila kasi parang tinatamaan sila ng higher costs, higher inflation.
Right.
And it really hit their profits.
Okay.
So, and then, parang if you look at it, parang ang taas din ng margins ng pizza eh. Parang nasa high 20s.
Yes.
And coming in, maraming mga competitors coming in, I don't think that they can maintain that high of a margin forever. Parang ganun lang.
Okay. So is there a fundamental problem with pizza?
Fundamental problem, not really.
Nothing.
But just, competition.
And it appears to be too expensive for its
Yes.
ability to generate profits.
Now, yes.
Okay, thank you. Now finally, Justin, ikaw ba nag-cover ng CIC?
Yeah, CIC.
Ano ba to? Is Conception Industries ito? Ano tawag?
Yes, Conception Industries.
Aircon, pare.
Yeah, there's an aircon. They also have mga refs, elevator, escalator, part of the yung building din.
Okay.
I have a buy rating, fair value of 43. There was a time din kasi last year na medyo binentahan siya nung naging problematic yung sales niya.
Okay.
Before, may mga issues lang with the ordering kaya na-delay yung mga orders ng aircon. And also, if tandaan niyo yung third quarter, ang dami mga bagyo niya, lakas ng ulan. So, hindi ganun kalakas ang benta ng mga air conditioning. But medyo delayed lang naman yun kasi since bumalik naman na tayo sa mainit na panahon right now, diba? I saw it as an opportunity na it's still a buy. Diba? Binentahan lang kasi tapos illiquid pa. But parang it's just a short-term problem. And the expectation right now kasi is sales should come back. Diba? People will still keep buying aircon and refs because it's
Mainit
really,
talaga dito.
Yes. Diba? Yeah.
Okay. And as we get richer, we get to buy more aircons in the future.
Diba? Yun. Although medyo wala na yatang upside recently, so maybe you could look for pullbacks if you want to buy.
Okay. Alright, so as a final topic, gentlemen, topics ninyo. What's your topic, Andy?
Sabi ko na, Maxes.
Maxes.
Cheap, stable, good stock.
Mura.
Mura.
Yeah. Justin.
SSI. It's also cheap and it's doing its best to do that turnaround, which should surprise investors if they haven't bought the stock yet.
Okay, all right. So thank you very much, Andy. Thanks,
Thank
Justin. So if you have any questions and comments with our presentation this afternoon, please feel free to just comment down below, and we'll ask our analysts to answer your questions. All right, with that, thank you.
Thank you.
We hope to see you soon.